Well, I found that it really helps to have, whether it's business, whether it's a creative project like a movie or a novel, or, even like a nonfiction thing like your memoir or a self-help book or anything to do with your business. The number one lesson I've learned is it really helps to be surrounded by experts and coaches and people that have a combination of the expertise to guide you to the finish line, which is what we do with our authors, and also just the ones that can really kick you in the butt. I mean, I mentioned my branding friend Kelly earlier, and she was the one that said, why are you sitting on this novel? Why don't you finish this blanking thing? Because she says, what are you doing? And so it's a combination of you're surrounded by experts, but also people that really can kick you in the butt and say, you have something here, and the only way you're going to get it done is get your butt in the seat and finish it. So it's really the combination. And also I have a wonderful team of editors, that really helped shape the story too over the years. So, really experts, coaches, and butt kicking friends.
Awesome. So basically now, I know we talked beforehand about, running a business. So let's say for us, if we, like, say we like are trying to get our business to the next level, per se, what advice would you give to us? Especially if some are like our employees and they're, want to take their careers to the next level, but they don't know what to do. What advice would you share?
I would share that they should get a business coach that can help them get their business to the next level, and they should contact me if they would like a referral, because I needed a coach. I'm not a coach. I am a book coach, which means I can help people get their books done. I can take someone's idea for a book, totally shape it into a structure, and get it all the way to the bookshelves into Barnes and Noble. So I can coach in that area. But when it comes to business coaching, I would say you definitely need to have a business coach that is an expert in bringing your business to the next level.
All right. So now of course, like you talk about like marketing, like how important is like the media per se in for authors or entrepreneurs who are trying to like say promote their business or brand.
It really, the important thing is to have a strategy that integrates the right vehicles for the authors. So I'm talking about whether it's variations of publicity, social media, marketing, and it's important to have a strategy in advance. I see too many authors, they just kind of go into I'm about to launch my book and they haven't really done any advanced marketing. So rather than getting their readers excited for months and months and months and having a really solid strategy that hits the media, the social media, the marketing, really entices their readers for several months, all of a sudden it's like, look, I published a book, and the people, what is that? So you really need to, what I've learned is whether it's, again, media, publicity, social media, it's really about starting that conversation with your readers as early in advance as you possibly can. So by the time you release the book, they say, yay, we've been talking about this for months now.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your approach to pitching to a media outlet, or even say a blogger or a podcaster? What would be your approach?
Well,
like that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. No, I have relationships with publicists who are fantastic at that. What we specialize in is really, we call ourselves book producers, because we bring together all the people that are needed to do that for the author. But what you're describing would definitely be done by the publicist. I have a fantastic one that I work with. And I mean, what we really focus on strategically is more of the editorial strategy. So the social media, the blogging, the articles, really is laying out in an extraordinarily detailed fashion, the 6 months leading up to the book launch, everything that the author will be doing with their content. But in terms of what you're talking about pitching to the media, we work with fantastic publicists.
Okay, so can you share an example, like say like of a books of a successful one of your clients who had a successful book launch, when they work with you?
There's so many, and I wouldn't even want to take full credit for it because it's so integrative, but they should visit our website because we have some really great client stories, theinkagency.net, and go to the client stories page, because I could sit here and ramble on about all of our clients because I'm so proud of all of them and all of their success. But we have some particularly great stories under the stories section of theinkagency.net, and it really, they're case studies really. So it'll, take you all the way from when we first met them all the way till today.
Oh, wow. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So of course now, of course I got to ask you this because, since we're doing this interview on Facebook Live, how how important is live streaming for, say, for an author or anyone who think that they want to build an audience? Do you think they should at least utilize these platforms to at least like build their audience?
It is. I'm a fan, and even just starting with Periscope a few years ago and Blab, and we were talking about that before, and now Facebook Live. I think it's a really great piece of an author's social media strategy. Again, very important for an author to have a social media strategy, and I definitely see the value of the live streaming because it's a way, like we're doing right now. We can answer questions about the book. I could, read excerpts. It's a really great way to just what used to have to happen in bookstores when an author would have to get on a plane and fly around the country and visiting their fans and readers in bookstores and just staying in hotels and the whole thing. It's really great that authors have the opportunity to have, this aspect of the book signing experience without leaving their homes.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I know I don't want to bring in the Oscars, but I kind of have to because, of course, with the quote unquote snafu that happened last night.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, even though it created some negative press per se that people are still talking about it today, how kind of strategy? How can authors can keep the media or anyone talking about them, even if by without this snafus that happen?
Well, I'm a big fan of content, so I'm a big believer in staying in front of your audience. Yeah, hopefully it shouldn't take a disaster to get you in front of your audience, but I'm a big fan of just constantly staying in front of your audience. Whether again a very organized strategy of social media, like you're saying, live streams, podcasts, video, blog articles, emails, and just it's more so than marketing. I call it just keeping the conversation going, just a natural organic conversation going with your readers, because especially I found this with Canyon Road is and I'm sure it's backwards here, but I don't know. Especially after people read it, I just get these excited emails and messages that, they just want to talk about everything because there's a lot of twists and turns in this. I'll tell you, there's people that just thought they had it all figured out by chapter 2 that were like, no way. So they love to just talk to me and have the conversation. So more so than calling it marketing and making it like plastic, I consider it just keeping that conversation going. Yeah, right. I like it. It's a conversation. So I keep the conversation going on social media and email. And, it's just a way to encourage people to read it. And then they come back and they want to talk about it. So I'm very informal when it comes to marketing, as you can probably tell. But organized.
Yeah, definitely.
Strategic and organized, but informal.
That's really awesome. So now I got to ask this question. So within, where your business, did you knew that you were going to be successful, in running your company? And if so, how did you achieve that goal?
Yeah, I didn't have a magic 8 ball. I don't think any startup or business owner, entrepreneur doesn't have. No, I don't know that any of us say like, yes, I'm going to be successful. I mean, it's like when they ask, TV show casts and movie casts of like the TV show Friends, did you guys know this was going to be like this huge thing? Of course they didn't. It's a pilot. It's a TV show. It's a project. You start every project, organizing and putting, the foundation in place, whether it's a business or a creative project, and you do your best to make it a success. But how on earth do you predict that? So it's just, for me, it was a matter of this was the only thing that I was ever going to do because, other than the early part of my life, which is a whole different story that will be in my memoir next year. But really, I've been a writer my whole life. So when it did come time for me to say, okay, I'm going to start a business, there was only one kind of business I was going to start because I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm a creative person. And it was so natural. So I followed my passion and saying, this is it. It's not like there's some other thing I'm going to do, so I better find a way to make it work.
All right. So question: should an entrepreneur, if they aspire to be an author, should they go the self-publishing route or should they have a publisher?
That's a great question, and that's one of the first things I discuss with our authors. And Simple answer is it comes down to the author's individual business and marketing plan, what their goals are for their book. And that's where really I begin the conversation with aspiring authors. Okay, what is your goal for the book? Are you using it as a speaker platform, or do you want to become the next, 50 Shades of Grey? Or it really depends on, the author's plan, but then also the content of the book. Is it something that is going to be appealing to a mass market, or is it, really just an addition to the author's existing brand, and their existing fan base will enjoy it as a business tool? So it's the combination. I'm a big fan of finding intersections of things, and it's the intersection of the author's plan and the marketability of the book.
Okay, so now let me ask this question then. What if a author who has self-published a book and it becomes successful, can they pitch that to a
Yes.
publisher to where they can, quote unquote, get it published and then have that book branded as,
Yes.
published by someone?
Yes, and there are many publishers. It depends on the publisher, of course, but there are many publishers where they will look at a self-published book, especially, we're entrepreneurs, marketing people. We know how to make things successful, so why not make our books successful while we're at it? And there are publishers, they'll say, wow, this thing has really taken off, and they'll take it into their publishing title library, so they'll take the person on.